surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic sparkling day. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 2070. Yes, it is the first day of April. We are doing an April reset spring clean on your tree. So we're going to give you some hints and tips, and I'm going to show you a couple of really cool things that can be done. And I just remembered I forgot to go into here and do this and do that. And where's it going to land? Who knows? All right, so I need to get to a place where we've got all dead people. I know that sounds really weird. Get to a place where we have dead people. I don't want you seeing the living people, that's all. Yes, let's do this. So what we're going to look at is about cleaning up the tree a little bit and how there's some really cool tools that can help you do this. So yeah, that looks good. Oh, perfect. That works perfectly. Okay. So, all right. Now I'm ready. Sorry, we just finished the lead generation workshop that we had on this evening. We did have some technical difficulty at the beginning of it where we didn't have enough space for everybody. So on Thursday, in 2 days' time on April 3rd at 4 p.m. Pacific, we are doing an encore presentation. So if you were unable to get on tonight, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we had. They are being addressed. They have been addressed and will be all sorted for Thursday. So please go to the QR code up here to scan that and come register for free with our encore presentation of the lead generation workshop. April the 3rd, which is in 2 days, at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And again, we apologize for not realizing that so many people were going to show up and would run out of room. So anyway, on to tonight's show. April reset, spring cleaning your tree. Why would you even want to do that? That's a really good question, and I'm glad you asked. So we're going to clear the clutter and breathe new life into your research. It's April 1st, and while some people are busy playing pranks, we're turning over a fresh leaf, literally. Tonight we're going to be talking about a little spring cleaning, not in your closet, but in your family tree. So get comfy, and here we go. We're going to be talking why spring clean is the perfect time. Why spring is the perfect time to reset. Spring is renewal. Nature starts over, and so can we. I mean, we're going out, and literally every day we go out there is more green leaves on the trees outside. Like I walked out the other day, and I'm like, where did all that green come from? And it's just the leaves on the trees just starting to open. So it's got this little bit of green there. We went out this morning and there's even more green there. So the gaps on the trees are starting to fill in. Give it a week and those trees will be completely covered in leaves. And, you know, after a busy winter of research, one of the things I love about winter is that when it's, although not so much in Arizona, but when it's cold and windy and wet and snowy and all of that outside, I love those days. I love the days in Virginia when we would have it be outside, you know, it'd be snowing or it'd be raining or hailing, whatever it was doing outside. It was nasty weather outside. It was great, but it was great weather at the same time. And those were the days where you'd be snuggled up in front of a fire, reading a good book, watching a movie, doing some family tree research, you know. We often accumulate clutter, unfinished leads, stray notes, duplicate people, and folders named mystery docs, sort later. I have so many sort later books or to be sorted folders. I've lost count. If your research feels like a little mess, that's okay. Let's tidy it up together. So finding duplicates and untangling branches. I'm going to take you over to Ancestry here. So let me figure out again how to share my screen. And I want this one here, share. Okay, let's see if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. Okay, good. Excellent. All right. So what we've got here, this is part of my family tree. Here's William Henry Morris Price. This is the one. Oh, hang on. I'm on the wrong screen for you guys. This is William Henry. This is my second great grandfather who I found the information on. This is his father who we are trying to find the information on. So there's one thing that, Ancestry have come out with these things called Pro Tools. And it is an extra charge on top of your membership. It's like $9 a month, but they do have a 6 month. It's not $10 a month, but they do have a 6 month discounted price for 6 months. And so and this is what this little exclamation point is here. So when you click on here, This is your tree checker. So out of the 10,174 people in my tree, I have a possible of 25 duplicates. So this here rates my tree. I'm at 8.6. It's a strong tree. But I've got possible of 25 duplicates. Now, I know I have a crap ton of errors in here. And I know that because very early on when Ancestry came out and you could, and without thinking about it at the time, this is back 25 years ago, I would say, oh, that person's got the same people in my tree. Click. And it turned out it was the wrong person. Later on, I found out it was the wrong person. So now I've got to go and clean up all these people. So I've got a possible of 25 duplicates. I've got 2,616 people with no documentation. This means that they don't have any sources attached to them with birth records, baptismal records, marriage records, death certificates, nothing, passenger logs, census reports, nothing. So if I were to go to, if I was to click on this, now this is really cool because when you click on one of these, it will say, see, no people with sources. So if I come down here to Charlotte Abrams and go to her page, it's going to show me that she has nothing here. They're talking about this area here. There's nothing. All I've got is this person. This is who her spouse is and who her kids are. Nothing else. But she's the wife of the first cousin once removed of my husband. So it's my husband's first cousin once removed. So this is like nothing. There's nothing in there. I don't even have her last name. So do I keep that person? Do I not? And that's what I have to decide with that. Did that show you guys? Did that take you there? I got to say, did that take you? Hang on. I just got to check. Did that take you there? Oh, no, it didn't. Okay, because I've only got it on the one thing. Didn't think of that one. Okay. So when you click on the name, it actually opens another tab and takes you to another tab so you can see that. But these ones basically here mean that they have no documentation on their profile at all. If I go to the 1,917 people here, they only have tree resources, which means they are linked to another tree or have been brought in from another tree. And there is a way that you can bring people in from another tree without clicking that button that says merge these two trees together, merge this information. There is a way that you can bring people across, which is good if you are in a person in somebody's tree that you know very, very well, and you know their research style and everything else, and they've got a few members in there that you want to bring across, but you don't want to sit there and type all that information out. So you've got a way that you can actually save it to a tree, and that's what this refers to, that they've saved to a tree, but it doesn't bring across the sources that the person has on their tree. And then you have 99 other possible errors, and that's just other stuff. So this is how I'm finding this stuff. So if we were to go to, I'm going to go back here. Come on, go back. Okay, so if I was going to go back to my tree here, what I can do is I can actually go on, let's open up William Henry Price. I don't know if he has any. So we're going to go into his profile, because when you're in somebody's profile, you can also check the facts as well. So we've got all of this information here. I still don't know if this is his mother. I have come across five Joseph Prices with 5 different women, 5 different marriage records, all around the same time, all around the same area. Are some of them first or second marriages? I don't know because I haven't gone and looked, but I've not found one attached to a Louisa. But you can see this here where it's got pro and charts and reports with pro. So you can click here and go check facts. And it's got, this one's got no errors on it. Yay. And you can also look at this for charts and reports. And this is really cool. So this is a descendancy report, which has him here. It has his wife here who got married to, his kids, and then all of the downline, basically all of their descendants from that point onwards, which is really cool. You can also do, I can never know how to say this one, but it basically numbers people in the tree. Register, not sure. This is the register. So it's got generation 1, generation 2, and so forth. And then it's got each child listed underneath there. And you can also do it in different, isn't that pretty? Then you've got the family group sheet. I love family group sheets. This has got the husband's name at the top, the wife's name, and then the children's information, depending on how many children that they have. And you can print off those, you can download those reports and print them off and that sort of thing. These family group sheets are out of Ancestry. I work from handwritten ones before I upload some information there. So when I'm researching, I've got handwritten group sheets going. And then these are for later on when I want to put them together. And I can click on these to go to that person's profile as well. And that just opened another window. So I can click on these and it will take me to that person's profile in the tree. So that's with the Pro Tools. Is it worth the money? Yes, so far it is. The other thing that the Pro Tools will do, and I can't show this because it's got living people on it, is that under the DNA matches, it will, actually I'm going to stop sharing that one now. So under the DNA matches, what it will do is it will take your name, and if you're, like if I turn around and say, okay, I've got Joe Smith over here, and Joe Smith has come up with a DNA match to me, who else in my tree does he match to? Who else in my DNA matches are we matched to? So I've got mine here and Joe Smith here, and I can turn around and go compare. And what it does is it pulls up all of the people that I have DNA matches to that he has DNA matches to as well. And that can help narrow down the areas that you're looking, especially if it's got names in the tree where I have already verified the DNA matches. That's the clue, verified. So now I know which part of the tree I'm looking in, and maybe it gives me a clue as to how far back I have to go. So I've got one that I'm working with, and I sent him a message. I totally forgot to see if there's any reply yet. Haven't had a reply from him yet, but it's been a year since I last spoke to him. But since the Pro Tools came out, I thought, let's compare and see where we're at. So I found that we had some that we had in common, and it had different, slightly different how we were related, but I had verified people in my tree. In fact, it was a father and a daughter and then two sisters. And I said to him, I said, look, I have DNA matches with these people. This is the common grandparent that we have. And it was my third great grandparents. And then third great grandparents went and had their kids. So the father and daughter come off this one over here. The two sisters come off this branch over here. And I come off this child over here. But we all come back to the third great grandparent. That's my one that I have in common. To them, they are either fourth great grandparents or second great grandparents. No, fourth great grandparents, I think, because they're third cousins once removed. So that's how I found those. And so I've given him them, and I says, look, these are the other names that come up with matches. Do you have any of these in your tree? You know, this is who they are. These are and so they've got this, you know, they've got sons. So if you've got that name there, we've got the mat, we can work it out from there. Does your tree go back to any of these people? Because these are the married names of their daughters. So here's my third great grandparents that I have in common with these ones over here that I've verified the matches with, and their daughters all got married. So here are the married names of their daughters. Do any of these names appear in your tree? So I'm just waiting to hear back from him to see, because as soon as if he goes yes in this one, this is how I'm related in this one, bam, we've got the connection. So, but based on Ancestry's predictions, he would be down somewhere around where these other cousins are that we have that third great grandparent in common, or my third great grandparent in common. So yeah, he would be somewhere around those ones if he were descended from that branch. But we're going to start with the common names first before we start looking at siblings of the third great grandparents, because it could be that he might descend from one of the siblings of the third great grandparents on one of those trees, the mother or the grandmother or the grandfather. And so first of all, we're starting with this one because this is where the commonality is on these particular ones. So we'll start there. And then if he's not connected to any of those names in there, or may not have gone back far enough either, then we can, that means that he's another we've got the fourth great grandparents in common. So we've then got to go back to the fourth great grandparents and look at the siblings of the third great grandparents on the grandmother's side and the grandfather's side to see where they are at. So that's one way that you can spring clean your tree, is going through getting Ancestry Pro Tools. It's like I said, it's $10 a month if you're doing it monthly, and they do have a 6-month package. And I can't remember what the cost of that is, but I know it's discounted off. It's not $10 a month. It's a discounted rate if you buy a 6-month package. So yes, so that's where we're at. So go through your main tree, run the duplicate, go into the duplicate thing, especially if you've merged lines or imported data. Look for ancestors with similar names and birth years. Are they really two people or one entered twice? And the Pro Checker, when you're looking at the duplicates, it's looking at, oh, well, hang on, you've got this one here that's Amelia, and then you've got this one here that's known as Nanny. They could be the same people because there's only a year or two difference between their birth. When you go in there, you actually realize that they're siblings, and so no, they're not the same person. And you just put they're not related. They're not the same person. There's a button there. So don't duplicate. You can, tools like Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Family Tree Maker often have potential duplicate alerts, so check those. Create a holding pen branch in your tree for people you're unsure about or you don't have to delete, just declutter. This is where my mini trees come in. If there's a person on there and I'm like, I don't know if you actually work in that family, that you're actually part of that family. I mean, it looks like she's been having kids for like 30 years. Yeah, she must have started like when she was like 10. So maybe, like you've got all the family up here that you definitely know about and you have already verified. And then there's this little single person down here about a few years later. Could that child actually be a grandchild? Could it be a child of another family? So what if you put it in a holding pen, which means that you remove the parents and now they're floating in the system there somewhere. And you have it noted that they're in this holding pen, or you use the tags that are available on the profiles and things to tag them to say, we need to investigate this one more. Review your most important ancestor profiles, especially the direct lines. Are the sources valid, cited, and organized? So if you're using a program like Ancestry, it's going to put the sources in there for the person that you're working on, where you've agreed that certain documents are related to your ancestor, and so you've done that, and they've got the source list there in the middle. Sometimes you find sources at other sites. So let me go back here to Ancestry. Whose one that I just did that on? I think it was this one. Okay, so you've got places on Ancestry that you can add an outside source into that. And if you can, scan that document, take a picture of it, upload it so you've got it there as backup. But you can also add a web link. So if you find their obituary online, which is what I've done for some of the later people, the younger people, the ones closest to me, I've actually gone online and found their obituary and linked it in there using the web link. So you can actually put web links in there and state what they're for and that sort of stuff as well. So not only do you have the Ancestry ones, but you've also got a place where you can add in a source or add in a web link there to link to a newspaper article or a file that you've found that is not on Ancestry. So yeah, so for stuff that's not on Ancestry, you've got ways that you can source it on Ancestry so it's there for you. My second great-grandfather has 7 more hints on there that weren't there the other day. But let me show you his page. All right, let's see. Yep, this is one. Okay. Yep. Okay. So this is my second great-grandfather. This is the one that I told you the story about with his baptismal record. That was in 18th of November, 1855. And this is the one. See, I've got 2 entries to this here as well. So what I can do is click on here and go, okay, that's on that one. And that's on the same one. So I've actually have 2 of them. So I can go edit. And I can delete this one. So I no longer have it as a duplicate entry. So this is another thing of looking at these as well. Then you have the, all the births of his half siblings and everything else. And we actually have his birthday because it's written on the baptismal record. But these are all the sources from Ancestry. These are all the documents that were found on Ancestry that belong to my second great-grandfather. And so we've put them here. This is what I'm talking about with the public member trees. They will show up as that you got sources from there. This is back in the early days. So these have been on here for a long time. And these are ones that I do have to go in and clean up. Then I've got, this is where I have imported information when I was using things like, this is Family Tree, FTW. I think it was Family Tree Maker, but I don't know what the W was for. But this is when I imported the information from Family Tree Maker. It sourced it every time I did an upload into the system. This is where you can add a source. And when you come in to add a source, It gives you, where does the information come from? You can create a new source, or you can select a source that's already there. There's no sources already there, so you're going to have to create a new source. Then you come down to the citation thing, and this makes it super, super easy, because instead of remembering what the format is, you come here, enter the title or the film number or the volume number, etc., of what it is, the date of the publication or the document or the material, the transcription of the text. Are there any other information? So enter any other pertinent information related to the citation, the web address of where you found it, which I think is pretty cool. And then you can go down through the events in his profile and check off every single one that source applies to, which is kind of cool because you don't have to go and add it to every source. You can do it right here. So that's how creating a source. Then you also have below that, and I don't have any on here because it would say if I did, you can add a web link. So this is when you've got, you found something that is not on Ancestry, but it's on another website. So you can put in here the website, and then you put the link name. Like it could be obituary for, you could put, William Henry Morris Price obituary dated, blah, 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 blah. And you put the link there for it. Like if I go into past papers, which is the New Zealand archive newspapers, and I find an article in there about him, I can then put the link there and then give the link a name. Like it might be the name of the article, and put it there. So that, and then I can link. Can I link that? I'm not sure if I can link that to an event or not. I can never remember if I can or not. Actually, let's have a look here. I can attach media, which is a photograph. I can attach a source, which is that one listed in the columns up above, but I cannot add the web link in there. And the senile decay that came from his death certificate. So those are the different ways that you can do sources. If you don't have any of them, you can even click here and go search on Ancestry. This networks thing is brand new, and I don't fully understand it, so I haven't played with it yet. But give me time to go in and play and destroy and everything else, and I'll let you know how that works. So that's some of the stuff that you can do for spring cleaning. So checking your sources, grouping. You can group by a surname or a family group. You can delete duplicates or blurry scans. If you have physical binders or boxes, label them. Pull out anything that belongs elsewhere. Have a mark to scan pile and commit to the goal of doing 5 scans a week, spending half an hour doing scanning or something like that. So it's not just your electronic tree. We're also looking at the physical records that you have as well. I have until I moved to get all the documentation scanned, and it is frightening because I printed off just about everything. I've got stuff that I printed off when Ancestry first came online in like 99, 2000, whenever it was. That's how long I've been using Ancestry. And I actually have a 2-drawer plastic filing cabinet, and I don't want that to go with me. And it's just full of all of these printouts. So my job is to go through them, have a look at them, see if it's still relevant. If it is, scan it. If it's not, and that's stuff that I found online. So most of that stuff can probably still be found online, may still be in their records with a source attached to it. So organize your digital and physical files as well. If you have, like I have a folder that's called Genealogy, and in there I have folders for, I have a folder for clients, and then under the clients I have the client's last name, and then underneath that folder I have all the information. I might have subfolders under there for the different names that I'm researching for them, and then I have my own tree stuff in there, and all of the different surnames I'm researching are in capital letters, so I know which box to go in to get things out of. So not only organizing your digital files, but the physical ones as well. Spring cleaning is just genealogy self-care. Your future descendants will thank you if you're not passing on reams and reams and reams of paper. So the next is set fresh light goals for April. Choose 1 to 3 simple goals for your research this month. Revisit 1 brick wall with new eyes. Interview 1 family relative. Write 1 ancestry story. Clean out an old notebook or file drawer. This one knows me very well. Set goals that energize, not overwhelm. So remember, genealogy is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So yes, it is going to take time to go through files, especially paper files or just stuff that you've printed off the internet. Check that that stuff is relevant, that it's in your tree, that it's in the right spot. If it doesn't apply to your tree, and you're sitting there like me half the time going, well, if I throw that out and I find out, yeah, do I, don't I, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, toss it, shred it, whatever. So what's one part of your family tree that needs a good spring cleaning? Post your cleanup goals or progress in the comments below. And please remember to comment. If you're going to post comments, go to our YouTube channel and post the comments there, because in 30 days, this video will no longer exist. Well, sorry, in 32 days, this video will no longer exist because they're going to go and delete it. And this is April 1st. So I will get a notice around April 28th to say that on April 28th, 29th to say on probably on May 1st that they're going to be deleting this video. So that's on Facebook. But if you go to my YouTube channel, they are all there. They're all under the playlist of Before the Dirt Nap podcast. And so you can go in there and leave your comments there as well. Spring is a chance to begin again, not just with flowers and sunshine, but with your family stories. So as the season opens up, give yourself permission to refresh your research. Pull the weeds, water the roots, and breathe new life into the legacy you're growing. And if you need help sorting through it all, just ask. Visit yourfamilytreedetective.com for guidance, tools, and professional support. And that's it from us for today. So go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening. If you want to catch the encore performance of Lead Generation Workshop, which was amazing, I've written down, here's my notes. This is just the notes on the different ideas, single lined or numbered over to the second page of just ideas on lead generations. So if you would like to catch our encore performance on Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific, April 3rd, just go scan this QR code and you can sign up, and we will see you there then. Until then, we will be back tomorrow. Actually, where's my calendar? It's amazing. I'm having to check my calendar these days before I can agree to anything. Where's my calendar? Yes, we will be on at normal time tomorrow evening. So we're back to 8 p.m. Pacific tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow evening. We will be back with a fresh topic for you. So go out and have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here at 6 p.m.